Sin, you're a genius. I need music, don't I? Oh my gosh, I could just play Taylor Swift. Everybody would run. Oh, and Sin, you said don't look at the screen, right? But it's so meta. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. It's like 1,000 of me. Okay, but I won't look at the screen. Don't look at myself. What was I gonna do? Oh, I was gonna take a picture. Okay, maybe I can look at the screen just for a second. Oh, I just realized if I play music, I'd get copyright striked, wouldn't I? I would get, if I just put on Taylor's music, she would like, she'd get me. She would definitely get me. So we'll just have silence because silence is safe. Argent, hello, hello. Buenos dias or buenas noches. Oh, and I can't hear you. I don't know if it's my no, my sound settings are good. Hi, Harmony. Good good afternoon or good morning. Thank you for joining.
Hello.
Ah, now I hear you. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
What's that silence?
In the silence. Can you
You
hear me?
said something like, yeah.
Okay, okay. Yay. Yeah. Um, I'm still on my I'm on my like second cup of coffee. So I'm it's still early for me. Oh, and I see 985. Give everybody a chance to come in and um it's okay too if nobody's here. Like it's a recorded session, so it's um other people will listen in later. I had a lot of time before it started, like just I tested the stream. So there's like 10 minutes of dead time of just me dancing. And so yeah, just letting you know. Sorry about the time. But I wanted to make sure that like the stream was working. So hopefully everybody can see the stream. If not, you could do a full reset of Decentraland, or you could try reload. Usually I have to do the full reset. And then Sin is a genius. He's like, click on the screen. And I clicked on the screen and that worked. So good morning. Oh, Fred Army. Hello. Say hi. And I'll do my best to not ignore anyone in world, but it is hard to like do the teaching and then like go back and forth to the chat. So if you guys have questions in the chat, I will like in world in DCL, I'll maybe ask at the end if anybody has them because I think I'll probably miss it as I go along. Um, all right. Oh, I'm learning how to shift from different screens, and Sin, you'll be so proud of me. I'm alt tabbing. I'm not doing my normal thing. And Fitty, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good night. How are you?
Hello, hola. Um, we got alt tabbing. That's high level shit right there.
You're real quiet for me. I turned my volume up, but I don't know. I can barely hear you. Argent, am I streaming? Yes, I am streaming in world and then also on YouTube. Um, yeah, I'll I'll get better at streaming, guys. I should be like telling you all the different places to find me. So YouTube at Canessa DCL1. Um, I'll even post a link. Let's see, let's see, let's
Hola.
see.
¿Cómo
I can
estás?
hear you. It's just
Okay.
real quiet.
Wow. Okay.
Like really quiet compared to last time. I could hear you really well last time.
Wow. I'm all the way up in. Oh, here we go. How about this one?
Oh
Is
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
better?
Yeah, that's better. There you go.
Weird. Okay. Thanks. Hey,
Nice.
so I've had a wonderful week by myself exploring the tools. I
Awesome.
made what I want. But now that I have better questions for a
Yeah.
noob now that I've worked in it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
and I would love to do last week's video all over again
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
know what to ask now.
Nice.
But I would love if someone else would maybe step up and be ask you questions here instead of me to see what other people need or want, you know. I don't want to run the questions myself to you. I would rather other people
Yeah.
help out
Um,
too because they're going to have different questions to me. I'm telling you, like, teaching is you learn more teaching than learning,
yeah.
really, in the long run. But yeah, so it helps anybody wants to join, that'd be great.
Well, I'm so glad that it's been helpful for you. And I want to make sure, like, that each week, if somebody doesn't make it for the first week, that they can just come in the second week and I'll kind of review the same stuff. So if people
Okay.
are like, hey, like this is moving too slow, like, I think everybody, I think we'll move kind of, I think it'll be a good enough pace. And I'll try to just, go as or like explain stuff as I'm going. And then I think you're probably going to get into like questions that Dr. Krillo would know the answer to, uh, like pretty
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
Because
You saw
Dr.
my
Krillo,
chat.
yeah, yeah, yep. So, um, I'll help as best as I can, but I feel like I'm also just like the go-to jockey of like, nope, this is a Dr. Krillo question, or this is a totally, different question.
All right.
Um,
Sure.
so let's see if I can move over to Creator Hub. Oh, it's black because I gotta open up Creator Hub. So, um, oh, Sin, I gotta do it. I gotta do the minimize the screen. I'm trying so hard not to. Okay, so just to kind of start fresh, I think I'll do that every week. Um, welcome to Build It Forward. This is just going to be basics of building in Decentraland. And the first thing that you're going to need to do is download the Creator Hub. That is the place where everything happens from there. And so hopefully everybody has that installed. And this is where we're going to start each week and go from there. So I've got an idea for today that I'm going to teach, and it came from somebody kind of mentioning like last week we made a club, and they're like, yeah, there's a lot of clubs in Decentraland. So I don't know, like it was a good like aha moment of like, yeah, there are a lot of like buildings, a lot of clubs, a lot of like specific scenes. And so today I wanted to do something a little bit different, and create something that was like interactive. And then also we're going to make an event out of it because hosting events is, it's kind of fun, but it's also kind of like I don't know if I can host my own event. So I'm going to make a tiny event, guys, because I want to show you how easy it is just to make a small event and invite people to it. Like that, it doesn't have to be a giant production. Fiddy, you and I and Sin and Argent too, like we've done big festivals together and they're huge productions. And a lot of work goes into it. So this is going to be like just a baby step in that direction. So once you're in the Creator Hub, you're going to want to go into your scenes. And last week we created the builder basic scene. It was just a basic building. And if anybody's watching, you can go back into the live from last week and see how to do that. And yeah, I'm so excited and happy that people were actually creating stuff and able to have, their version of their scene out there. It does take a second for this to load in. So just to review, this is what we did last week. This could be an art gallery. This could be a club. It could be the beginning of an escape room. Honestly, it could be, like it really is the beginning of everything you're going to do in Decentraland because for some people, it's their first scene. And I think I'll go over like my cardinal rules first is to like test early, test often. So when you're building something, go look at it in world or in your world or DCL world as quick as like not as quick as you can, but just don't let too much time go by before you test it. Because I've done that where I literally had the entire cantina built and I never tested it in world. I tested it in the preview up here, which is different than testing it in world. And so like I didn't realize that there would be slight changes, but there there were. Let's see. I just want to make sure that you are seeing. Yeah, that's the right screen because I'm checking it out. You guys can see the Creator Hub, right? Let's see. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because it's in YouTube.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So thank you, Arjun. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to go back into the main scenes area, and like I said last week, I've got lots of scenes there. If you're a new builder, what you want to do is hit new scene and then empty scene and give it a name. You can change this later. I'm gonna call this, okay. Let's see, should I use caps? Only up. Like, I'm not sure how many of you have played an only up game, but they're popular in Roblox, in Fortnite, like in those two games, especially in Minecraft. There's, well, for a lot of people, they know like a UGC experience is a user generated content experience. So it's a lot like this, where you can create your own, I don't know why there it is. You can create your own little pocket game in there using the tools that everybody else does. So in Fortnite, you're not in battle royale killing everybody, like you're literally doing parkour. And that's what Only Up is. And it's pretty fun. I hate parkour. I'll just tell you that much. And I'll make sure that I show you my secret for parkour in here
me
anytime I
too.
create one. You hate it too, Argent?
No, me.
Oh, you hate it too.
I
Yeah.
was saying, me too.
Oh, okay.
I
I couldn't. You sound.
I actually love parkour,
Do
but
you?
good, yeah, but good, well done. If it's well done, the user experience is different, and you enjoy it because it's like moving fast around the scene, and it's very cool. The
Yeah.
problem is when it's too much difficult, you know. So
Yeah.
it's not enjoyable, but it's a pain on the ass. That's the difference.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can make a fun one. I actually don't mind this as much as like regular parkour. I can deal with the Only Up because there's something more creative about it, I would say, in how you get to choose to go up. So, for newer users, here we are at the very beginning, and we've got our scene. So over here on the left, you can click this. It doesn't really do anything right now because we don't have any assets in it. But I always like to start by just knowing my layout, one parcel. I'm going to continue to build on one parcel because I think that it just, for newer users, usually that's what you start out with, is one parcel of land. More parcels gives you more freedom and flexibility. However, it is also more work. So sometimes I used to think, oh, I need more. I can't have enough land. And now I'm like, ooh, like actually, there's a lot of land out there. So I'm gonna do a Halloween themed parkour, like Only Up. So down here, there's the Halloween asset pack, but I want to have floor. Um, for my brain, the way I like to work, I have to have something here. I have to kind of know, like, all right, where does my scene start and stop? I know I talked about that last week as well. And then I also want to know where the limitations of my build height are. So I'm going to grab some crazy asset, probably red, because red stands out against the blue sky. And this is my quick and easy and dirty way of knowing how high can I build. So I'm just going to grab this and move it up. There we go. Until I see the yellow area around this highlight. So once that highlights, oh, and it's right when it gets the horizon line, so it's kind of hard to see. Once it highlights, that tells you it's out of the boundary of the scene. You can only build, I want to say it's 33 meters high on a one-piece parcel. So if I put this up here, it's just a quick way of being like, all right, Canessa, this is the top. And I'll remove this later. Oop, made it too big. So it's just like a temporary placeholder. So now when I'm looking here, I kind of have some bearing. Actually, it doesn't even look that much like that big. And that's why it's so important to kind of give yourself the parameters before you start to work in, because otherwise you're going to be over here thinking, oh my gosh, this is so big. And then you're going to build like a house for ants. or you're going to think, oh, I have so much room. And then you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this looks terrible.
Can
So
I
I'm,
tell you what I did?
yeah, yeah.
I made a big property and I wanted to know the edges, like how far my character can see and to the edge. So I took the two of the graves, what's it called? Gravestones?
Yeah.
What are they called in there? The obelisk ones, and I stretched them out so I made the middle the coordinate for uh for the now
Nice.
I can't remember the word. I stretched them out really long. I put them on not on the corners, but the midpoint on each side of the square,
Hmm.
so I could see the edges from far away. You know,
Yeah.
so I had big, tall, skinny statues. I had four of them. They're gone now. I already their usefulness has already been, but
Yeah.
I could log in and see how far um the distance with these tall statues to the
Yeah.
edge.
Good idea.
Just something, and then I throw them away after I built. You know, I don't need them anymore. They're just
Yeah.
markers.
I think that's a really good idea because this is a very overwhelming landscape. This is like, I
For a
mean,
big,
it's a
for a
lot.
small one, you don't have to. You're right by the edge, but for a when you want a big plot, you want to put a fence or something to let you know where the edge is.
Yeah.
That, anyway,
Yeah. And I find it so funny that I have that like feeling that I need to close it in. You know, all our life we're like, I need to break out of whatever box I'm in. And then here I'm like, no, I need to know where are the edges that I can build because if you're out of those edges, you can't, it like if I'm sure we kind of covered this last week, but if it's over here, it gives me the message one entity is out of bounds, and then it may not display correctly in world. I haven't actually even tried to publish it. I think they've made it where it will just cut off the edge of the scene, but in the past, it used to be nightmarish. It wouldn't publish. And like I remember one time there was like a sparkle that I was trying to deploy and literally like Tinkerbell sized sparkle, and I could not find it, and it was saying it was out of bounds, and it didn't have this icon or like this list, and so I was just like clicking and clicking, like literally looking for this
oh my
one
gosh,
sparkle, and so there's these improvements now that I think that we take for granted, but like there's a reason they were like, all right, so this is not gonna work.
I read it absolutely cuts off the bottom of anything. If you stick through the floor, it will cut it when
Yeah,
it renders. So I know the
yeah,
bottom is a cutoff. I
yeah.
read that
So
in a
that's
document.
nice at least. Okay, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
get started. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Fiddy.
no, I was gonna say go, 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 go.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I'm gonna get started, and I made an only up with like a bunch of cool obstacles. It's kind of fun, like jumping over cars and stuff. But I think for this one, since we're so close to Halloween, it would be kind of fun just to make like a Halloween themed only up. Like, what if it's all coming out of the casket, and it's like I don't know, the souls have been released. There's so many assets in here I haven't even seen. So like here's an orange ghost. That guy looks like he needs to be coming out of here. Um, most most all of the assets that I've found so far have colliders in them, um, and so that's really important for this. The collider is the part of the asset that lets you jump on top of it. Most of these in the builder, I believe, have the collider with it. But when you're creating stuff in Blender, you have to manually put that in. So we'll talk more about that too at the end here. Hopefully, I have time for everything that I want to get covered today. I'm probably going to make like a lot of these duplicates just because, for the ease of time, it's kind of quicker. Okay, so let's just throw pumpkins out. Guys, there are some really cool pumpkins. I made a cool Halloween scene this week, and like they're actually really cute. What do we need? Okay, let's skeletons. I'm just gonna kind of start throwing stuff onto my scene. A skeleton. Oh, I don't know. A skull. Um, so like with parkour, once you start getting it up into the air, you really have to like use the 3D like moving your cursor back and forth because you're working in 3D. So I kind of want to get everything here before I start lifting it up into the air. That's not how I built the first one, but now I'm like, ooh, this would have been so much easier. Let's see, should we make a coffin up there? Oh yeah. Um, that is probably enough to get started. So, what I want to do is decide where's my parkour starting from? Where's my only up? And I'm probably going to have it start from the casket and then work in like a loop because it actually one piece it's kind of hard to do this on. It's not that big. It's a Canessa parkour. It's not that hard. So if anybody's like, this isn't parkour, this is like, your grandma's parkour. Yep, that's me. All right. So what I want to do is kind of lay everything out in a spiral because in my mind, like sometimes only ups, it might just be a pile of assets that you have to climb to get to the top. For this one, I do want to make it kind of like circle around the build. Um, so you just grab these. I'm going to add more stuff after the pumpkins, but I think this is probably like the easiest way just to get the visual that you're, this close together. Oh, let's do the coffin over here. Oh, that's going to be creepy jumping in a coffin. There we go. And then the lid should be coming right off the top of it. Let's see. All right, so for new users, you could kind of see it highlighted, and that just meant that I was out of bounds. I definitely like if you're rewatching this later, it would probably be helpful to watch last week's just as I'm going to try to start fresh every week, but sometimes there might be things um, that I miss. So I'm going to try my best not to miss anything because I think that's where sometimes tutorials like they just move too fast. All right,
Yeah,
so
can I throw in some? I learned about the movement keys. So you're going to use your arrow and your mouse and your scroll wheel, right?
mhm.
If you hold down the right mouse button and scroll, you can change the speed of your arrow keys. So when you get down in close, you want to be
Ah,
going really slow, and when you're far away,
interesting.
what?
Interesting. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So when I'm up close, tight, like putting a cup on a table, I want to get in, and the fast movement doesn't help because you go right past. So you want
Yeah.
to scroll down, get slow, come in close to the table, and you can get the cup exactly. But I'm always rotating around, holding the mouse and going left and right to rotate my view because you can't see everything in 3D from one angle.
Yeah.
That's just the basics. So yeah.
Interesting.
All right. I
I'm
just
gonna have
wanted to
to thank
tell
you. I'm gonna have to
what I
play around
learned.
with that. Yeah, yeah, I like that. I mean, I thank you very much. Like I am not an expert by any means. And so I know I'm gonna learn a lot like as we go along. So I'm gonna play with that more to get better at it. And then I'm probably gonna revert to my old habits because, it's like it's hard to break those. Um, oh, what was I gonna say? There's something that as you were talking. Oh. Okay, so like you were mentioning how like when you're starting out, you have to move all over. And that is also why I'm doing this today. I think like for a new user trying to place assets, this is such a good exercise because you have to really move the cursor, move the mouse around a lot, like, left, right, up, down. So this is like a great way to practice all of that. Okay, so I'm gonna start lifting them up just so that you guys are like, wow, this is parkour on the floor. This doesn't make any sense. So since I at least have like the visual, and I always get it wrong, like X, Y, Z axis. At least I know where they are from the top down. Once I start moving them, probably want to be down here. There we go. um, Getting like a good horizon line of these. And now all I have to do is just lift them, each one just a little higher. And in theory, you'll have kind of a staircase made of spooky stuff going through the sky. This it might be too hard, honestly. Oh, this one's gonna be way too hard for me. I'm so challenged. Um, but it's a really quick way of just getting some assets in the air. Now, these two I want to go up together because it's the casket and the top of it. So I'm going to click one and I'm going to hold shift key down and then click the other. And so that's going to really help, like if you're moving multiple assets at a time. And so then when I move those up, they're going to stay together.
You can also use control to select multiple things.
Control. Ah,
So one at a
interesting.
time.
Okay.
Shift is how you select a list. So you go to the top of the list, click that one, hold shift and click the bottom and you select a whole list. Like, right? You can't do that with control. Control is pick one at a time.
Okay. I'm wondering if so I
So
think in
sorry.
Blender it's shift and I really like
Oh, I
once you
bet Blender has a different.
it it does actually like after last week I went right from here to Blender and I could not do it. I was like, what's wrong with my keys? And then finally it literally felt like a click in my brain. I was like, ah, okay. I'm there's like a few changes that are different in Blender versus the builder. And so as soon as I just kind of like mentally played with it for a couple minutes, everything was fine. But it really was interesting that like that quickly you can forget like the keys. And that's what I mean by muscle memory. Like, um, yeah, I think once you get in and play, like people get in and play with Blender, they'll realize like, oh, okay, like this is what it is.
That is really common. That happens even when you have years of practice
Yeah,
between softwares, as each one has its own navigation keys. That happens. It's
yeah,
normal.
yeah.
Sometimes I
That's
blame also blame anchors when I am coming from working between Blender Unreal or Blender Maya or Blender the Creator Hub. So
yeah,
I understand.
yeah. That's funny. I mean, the brain must be like working so hard.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? All right, so I need more stuff. I like the pumpkins, but I should put other things in too. I think there's really creepy hands. I think that'd be fun to have to like, oh, jump on a hand. So,
And don't forget, you can rescale anything to
yeah.
whatever size. If it's too far to jump, don't change your layout. Just rescale the item a little bit bigger, and then maybe you can make the jump without having to replace, move, do anything crazy.
Yeah, and I think like a big zombie hand is a good idea. So I'm gonna
There's,
grab like this little piece down here. How big? Oh,
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I like your little layout of a parkour. That's great
well,
to lay
it's
it out.
like you guys probably remember parkour used to be such a big deal in Decentraland. Like
Yeah,
everybody had parkour. And then it's kind of gone away. And I think like this is such an easy thing to do. If people just want to like have an event and host something fun, this is like parkour. It's just it's like it's fun. We should have more back. I know like radio altcoin radio used to be a
yeah.
user that had like famous parkour and it was horrible. I could never do it. I would just stand there and
Yeah.
watch everybody else do it. All right, let's see. This guy should be over here.
uh,
So that
but
I
now
don't
you
even
know how much work he put into it. Now you can
yeah.
see what he did to put into it. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was a
And
lot
some people
back
are
then.
better at it than others.
Back
So
then. Ooh.
I'm going to take this hand actually because I'm kind of thinking that it's going to be easier if I just lay it out on the ground again. And so I'm going to move that hand back up later, but I'm going to kind of read like I'm gonna do the next section on the ground again because I like that. And I think I want to make like options. Oh yeah, for like maybe the pumpkin. Maybe there's like a pumpkin field in the sky. Um, and then also showing people how to duplicate. Like if you left click, right click on top of the asset over here, you can hit duplicate. Um, and now you're like, okay, but where did it go? It's duplicating the mesh right on top of the other mesh. So sometimes I'm like, oh, where did it go? And I like, I got to remember that I did that kind of when I'm doing multiple objects. So I'll show you what I mean by that. Because otherwise you're going to be like, Vanessa, you, what do you mean you don't know where it is?
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
So,
you have the list on the left. If you
mhm.
do get lost, as you click each item on the left, it'll show you where it is on the map, on the
Yeah.
in the viewer.
So
So
then
that's one way to find stuff.
if I hit duplicate, it's going to show me all of these. And I usually go back and I grab and then grab, holding the shift key, grab, and there they are, like they're inside the mesh. And I could go and grab all these at the bottom, but a lot of time it's just I'm like I just grab. Like I said, I'm visual, and so I tend to just grab the assets. Here's something I've noticed. I don't know if any of you've seen this. When you have multiple items selected in the past, as in like 2 days ago, you could rotate all of them. And now you can't. You have to rotate them separately and like move them around separately. So I don't know when that changed, but it's kind of like a sometimes it's nice to rotate
You
everything at
can't.
once.
You can only move as a group. You can't resize or rotate in a group
I think you used to
because
be
it
able
would.
to
But it screws everything up. There's a reason why. It's logical. It really screws
scale.
the objects up. They don't know what to do. You have multiple things selected. They don't. They all get all weird if it
Yeah.
was on. So they shut that off to for the weird distortions that happen to the other object when you select a group. I mean, there's a reason. This software is pretty good. I mean, it's pretty smart for what it is for free. For
Yeah.
working in 3D for free, there's a lot here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not complaining. You just gotta work around it.
Yeah. All right. So I got a little pumpkin patch up in the sky. We'll give people options of what they want to do. And then let's trade the skeleton. We'll make them gross, like jumping on a skeleton. So that's a good one to do. And then let's see. Oh, you know what? Maybe you have to end up in a casket at the top. And I'm going to put another arm.
Oh, another thing, when you duplicate, it goes to the bottom of the list. So that's
Yeah.
another way to find that item that's lost for new people.
Some of my lists are so so crazy.
Well,
Like
I
they have.
found out something else. You can, using shift, select like a whole stack of stuff and drag it onto another thing, and then it becomes like a group. So when I put like stuff in the casket, I
Hmm.
drag them onto the casket on the left, and then it becomes like a group.
Oh,
And you
nice.
can twirl it up and down and make your list smaller by using the groups.
That's
But
cool.
sometimes there's not a logical reason to put something into something else. So my casket, yeah, I want all those things together.
Yeah.
So I group them. But like the floor tiles, like which one is the parent? You have to pick one for the parent and put everybody in that. You know, that's not logical for floor tiles, but it is an easy way to organize your column on the left. Yeah, they don't
That's
have names for these panels yet. See, that's another thing when you teach.
hmm
You want to tell them exactly what panel to be in, and we don't have names for these panels yet. So I call the middle one the viewer,
yeah. Yeah,
and then
yeah.
so the left different programs have different names for their little areas, right?
Yeah.
So like we don't have a vocabulary yet. So
Yeah. We're
we gotta
just like
figure out a
that
name.
thingy, that one.
The column. The column.
But you can, the column is the outliner. The 3D view where is the one that the 3D view that you're moving, and the other is the menus of the different, of the objects. So there is already a name. It's how you are going to call them, more or less, in other software.
Where do you see the names? Because they don't
You
have.
don't need,
What I'm saying is
yeah,
there is no
yeah.
names.
There is no names,
Okay.
yes,
All right.
but it's the names in the rest of the 3D softwares.
Right.
That's why, yeah, that's why for this, because it's very simple. I mean,
Oh yeah.
in this hierarchy that we see in the menu that is at our left. Oh,
Hmm.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
that is the outliner, and you will hear that the outliner or the hierarchy in the
Uh
outliner. You will
huh.
hear a lot that in any 3D software that you're using.
Okay. Thanks.
Don't worry. And I think it's very smart what you were saying of parenting. I, for example, do it a lot in a lot of parts. Parenting helps you a lot to control the child objects that you have. For example, all these pumpkins that Kanesa is moving. Uh, if she wants later, when she has this organized, she can parent all of them and say, these are the stairs, and that's actually pretty cool.
I'm going to show just how to kind of lift, like, make this ascending all at once, just because I think it's a way easier way. If somebody literally wanted to lay everything on the ground and lift it up, if you select everything and then move it up to right now, the skeleton is the highest point, so I'm going to put the zombie hand next to it, and then I'm going to shift click on that to take it off of my grouping. Then I'm going to lift those guys up and then shift click those two to leave them behind. It's kind of like you're like everybody's jumping off the battle bus or jumping off the plane, and then those two, and then that way you're kind of just moving along like in a linear way. And it's way easier than trying to lift those up and like eyeball where they are. Just kind of knowing like as you go along, you're just dropping them off. They actually
Hmm.
look like actually it would be funny to have a big bucket that the pumpkins are falling out of here at the top.
I
Um,
have to
That's
say that
cool.
I am amazed that you are very fast moving all these things,
ah, yeah, I think just maybe I
She's
hope
had a
I'm not
lot of
too
building.
fast.
right? But yeah, but are you using a mouse or?
Yeah. Yep, I'm using a
Yeah,
mouse and the
a lot
mouse
of
the
credit to you.
yeah, the middle scroll wheel on the mouse I think is like absolutely well actually I'm not even using the middle scroll wheel much. I think it's just many many in many times of like placing assets probably. All right, but I'm not quite to the top, and I do want to make sure that people can get up here. And I feel like right here, this I don't, you guys are probably going to be fine. This is going to kill me. I'm not going to be able to get off the ground. So I'm going to put some assistant pumpkins here just to make sure that I can do my own parkour, and I do have my hack for that also.
Or just
Yeah,
resize. My idea is when you can't make a jump, you got to resize the pumpkin a little bit.
yeah, you can resize it. You can bring it closer together. And I think like the cool thing about the only ups, like when you do them, is usually you have choices. So like a parkour kind of a lot of times there's one way to do it. With
Right.
the Only Up, the idea is that there's like random, like I I probably need twice as much of these assets. But the idea is that if this pumpkin doesn't work, maybe I can jump to this one and then to that one. My
Yeah.
Fortnite partner, my son, he loves playing Only Up with mom, and I'm like, I can't get off the ground, and he's meanwhile like, Mom, did you see where I am? Did you see where I am? And I'm like, yeah, I see how high you're getting. Like, I'm trying, but it's difficult. Um, all right, we need something at the top to kind of say that you made it. Oh my gosh, is that a bear bush? There's some cool assets. I thought that the casket was a good one, but let's see. Um Maybe there's pet tomb. Oh, I'm not gonna do that. Let's see. There's little houses.
Upside
Uh
down skull. Is the bottom open on a skull?
oh, let's
Jump
see.
into a upside down skull.
Yeah, or maybe I'll just do the skull with the red eyes would be really cool.
Is
A
the
long time
bottom
ago
open?
when I made a ski lodge in Decentraland, I needed snow. But there were like literally no assets in the builder that were white that had the shape except for the skull. And so I took the skull and I duplicated it like 100 times and then I stretched it and resized it. So anybody that ever got to my ski lodge, you were standing on like all the skulls that came before. Um, and so sometimes you could kind of tell like they weren't normal assets. Like if you look close, the icicles coming off of the roof were like the warped skulls. They were pretty. That was pretty fun. Um, all right, I think that's a good place to stop. So like the skull is gonna be the top of the parkour. I know I could go higher, but for just the time that we have, I want to probably stop there. And now I want to tell people like, okay, what is this? What are we doing here? Because if you come to a scene like this and you're like, all right, cool, you do the parkour and that's it, then, that's not too fun. So I want this to be kind of an interactive experience that is going to be more than just that. So I'm going to go down to sorry, I was moving fast. I'm going to slow down. Go into smart items, and that's all of the assets that are going to be kind of interactive that you're going to do something with. And then go to image, and I'm just going to place that there. One thing that I've noticed that's kind of disorienting, it always loads it like going halfway through the floor. So a lot of times I'll put my picture on it and I'm like, oh no, it's cut off. And then I realize, yeah, I just needed to lift it up. So I'm going to go in and find my picture. Let's see. There we go. Oh, and it's backwards. So there we go. All right. So I made this ahead of time. It's just a little graphic showing my sign, Only Up in Decentraland. And then it has specific instructions because we should always tell our people what we want them to do. So climb the obstacle course and post a picture from the top for a free emote. So this is a way that like if you want to do a fun event and you don't know, DJs in the space or you don't have a club yet or you like don't yeah, like it's actually good to not like there's a
Don't
lot of
have any
clubs.
artwork to put in a gallery. You don't have any NFTs to put in a
Yeah.
gallery. You don't have anything. This is what you can make, right?
Yeah. This is like a great first event, like low effort, low like you don't have to worry about your screen working, you don't have to worry about everything. I think people would love to do like little things like this. Also, like I am a firm believer in evergreen content. So like experiences that you don't just have once a week at 5 o'clock on a Thursday night, like sorry, my cat's attacking me. Like the whole idea of an evergreen experience is like I could go to this 24/7. Since we're a global community, people across the world could come onto the scene and interact with it at any time. I don't need an event planner to be here. And I think that right there is like something that Decentraland really, really, really needs. And so this is like a perfect, easy way to do that. So I'm going to have this image down here. I'm going to right click and duplicate it. And then lift. Let's see if this works, actually. I haven't tested this. Lift it up to the top.
I wonder if they would rent land to somebody who is creating evergreen content for the platform. Wouldn't that be a great idea? Because
Yeah, I mean,
I have names. I can keep my worlds forever. Names are cheap,
yeah,
but they're worlds. You
yeah.
won't walk by them out in the land. You have to purposely click. So, like a land rental for evergreen projects would be
Yeah.
a great
Well, I
idea.
know there's a lot of us that like I've got I don't even know how many people I've got using land for free. So if somebody is like, "Hey, I want to make something. I don't have land." Like hit me up because I
It's
I love giving out
evergreen,
Sinful's land. Like
forever content, not
yeah.
temporary content. That's the deal.
Yeah. And I think that's what we need more and more in Decentraland. Just because like it's well it's fun for one thing, and then with this scene as soon as Halloween is over, well there's not Christmas assets, um but you could change it out, you could have it, you could rotate it literally every week. You could buy like cheap wearables or emotes on the marketplace and have that be the item that you're giving away. Yeah, and it's just a fun way to do it. So I think right now this is probably a good place to be done. So I'm going to go publish, and I'm going to publish to my land, and let's publish it right behind the cantina. Oh, let's do it literally right behind the cantina. And then
Perfect.
that way people can find it. And when you're publishing, this takes a little bit of time to watch this load, and then it'll, I don't know why, but it pops up with like an error for like a split second, and then it goes to the rest of the published screen. So lately I've been walking away at this point and I'm like, wait, no, I didn't actually publish it. Like I gotta wait. Um, and then it takes like 15 minutes after that, and it might be my computer. There we go. All right, so you're going to hit publish, and then it's going to tell you again. It's going to be 15 minutes. I actually love this because it tells you how long to wait. Um, so there we go, publish to our land. And now what I want to do is try, oh, I forgot the collider. I was going to show you something. Okay, I'm going to show you the collider. So Canessa can't do parkour. I cannot do parkour for crap. Like I just can't. I'm sorry. Um every single parkour I've made has a cheat. Like it'll have a cheat to get in there. Because I want to get to the top to I want to access it, but I can't do parkour. So what I'm going to do is go back into smart items, and I'm going to find the area called, well, they call it invisible, because I guess that does make more sense. Invisible ramp. This is what we always are calling colliders. Like in the 3D building world, a collider is something you collide with. It's something, like you walk into a wall, you can't walk through it, your avatar can't get through it. There's something there telling the software, do not let the avatar through that. Or if you're standing on something, do not let the avatar fall through the floor. So for this, it's cool they call it invisible ramp because that's much better than a collider. You could use any of these, but I'm probably just going to use the ramp. Now this is, I can see it right now, but once you get in world, you can't see this. So I've had colliders, like I've had to take pictures of my builds and been like, guys, here's where the secret entrance to the build is. And then, I don't know, then some a long time ago, Sinful's like, how do I get in? And I'm like, dude, I sent you the map. Like, I sent you the launch codes. You have the secret to get in. So it's kind of funny just to make this, because especially when you're like, I know I put it here. Why can't I get up? So I'm going to start it on this side of the screen. I guess if somebody walks into it, then they're going to be like, what the heck? What is this? So maybe I should make it like smaller, but I think since it's public, y'all can, you can like come and like try it and experiment with like finding it. So try to get these to go all the way up to the top. This is also like really helpful if you're, you're building something and you don't want the public to see it yet. Um, if you like, if it's a build that goes, that goes upward, obviously if it's on the ground, it's not going to do as much. I have used this before when people find ways to get into your build, even though you're like, I put the entire thing in colliders. There's no possible way for them to get in it. Um, there is actually, if you run fast enough before a scene loads, you can run faster than the collider loads in the scene. And so then you can run through the person's collider. So I had that happen once. I'm like, how did you get there? I'm not going to say the person's name, but they were very talented. And then I figured it out. So then I made sure that I put my scene elevated so you'd have to parkour up a few steps. So like you're not getting it, buddy. Um, it's so funny to find the ways that people kind of
I
like
need
hijack
to
this.
tell you a dirty secret about video gaming. People
Yeah.
cheat. So in the browser version, you could just see the wireframe. So that's how people were cheating in the browser.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to handle it on the client. So hopefully, I had a server for a video game, and we spectated people 24/7. Me and my crew, we just
Oh, I
watched
bet.
players for cheaters. This is 15 years ago. That's how
Yeah.
you had to do it back
Yeah.
then before they made tools to detect cheating. So like, uh,
Oh my
um,
God,
anyway,
that's impressive. I didn't knew that.
Uh, yeah, well, now they have tools. God, AI is gonna improve the cheat detection so much someday, probably in a few years. But yeah, that's just a fact of online gaming, just so everyone's aware.
Okay, so I put a marker just because I do like if you guys go in world, I want you to be able to like test it out to see. Plus, I usually like if it's a big build and I want to put a collider, and especially if I want to tell the other people that I'm building with, like, hey guys, the collider to get into the scene, go find like I used like go find the apple, or this one I'll be like, go look for the fish on the floor. And so once you find the fish, you know that there's a collider there, and you can walk up. Um, so the colliders, I think, are really fun and important for, yeah, for all sorts of things. I think this one is probably going to get in the way of the the asset right there. Oh, what am I doing? So make sure that it's not going to do that. And like I've thought about just making like literally an access, like making colliders the whole way up. So somebody's like, "Wow, I'm really good at parkour," and you're like, "No, actually, like there's zero way to fall through." But okay, I'm gonna republish that,
That's
and
great.
I I joke with Mariana that also Mariana is not a fan of parkour. That like we just make like a street and it's got like little bumps and that's how we get through it. All right, I am going to switch over to the DCL browser. Let me make sure that I can get there because now I want to show you how to create a party. So let me see if this is working. DCL browser. No, it's not. One
Okay,
second.
you do that. Something's really bothering me though. The convention for selecting is control, and then that's one item. And then
There
if
we
you
go.
want to do a group, it's shift. And I know you've learned you're like locked in, your muscle memory has locked
Yeah.
you into shift. But I'd really love need to tell people that it's control. So you can do shift all you want, but um, when you're
Well,
teaching, you
it's
got to tell
um
people use control.
okay.
Shift is for a group. You select multiple, and controls one at a time. So
I
they're
th-
going to go up in the list and try to use shift to select one thing, and they're going to select 50 things. Shift selects multiple. Just saying.
yeah.
I know you've been doing it so long like that. I know it's probably automatic for you.
Well, and I would want to know what control does in Blender because like my end goal is to everybody like that wants to learn this goes to Blender. And so I mean, Argent, correct me
Mm,
if I'm wrong, but Shift is what you use in Blender. So it's like, I guess that's
okay.
also why I would do it.
Okay.
But I
For doing what?
let me get back to that, Fiddy, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will find
Well,
out.
maybe next week we'll talk
Yeah,
about it.
yeah,
Okay.
that would be a good idea.
Go.
It's
Um, okay, so this is the event page where now I'm going to create. I just want to show people how to submit an event. And we are, because there's a few nuances that are kind of frustrating when you create an event. And this right here is probably the big part that is frustrating is you're going to have to do a few steps when you add a picture. Because I mean, if you're like me, most of the pictures that I try to add don't work. Um, they need to be so I guess when you're making an event, oh, it worked. No, what? It had worked. This is the first time that's ever happened. Usually you have to optimize it. So if you get to this point and you're trying to create your event and it says this picture doesn't work, there's a icon that or the link that comes up and it's Optimizilla. Um, and I don't like clicking links. I don't like, going to that, but it is, I have done it. So it is a good link that Decentraland offers to you. But for some reason, my event worked. And the other thing about this icon or this picture, make sure you put your text in the middle of the picture. A lot of times it'll look good, like wherever you make it. I make this picture in, what is it? Adobe Express. I know a lot of people make it in Canva, but Decentraland will cut off the edge. So that's why you see like I put some space down here, I put space on top. So it just, I guess, if you're making an event, just assume you're going to have to tweak it a little bit back and forth. Um, okay, so I want to just get through this so that if somebody wants to make an event now with their little parkour, they can, and it'll be really quick and fun. Let's see, I'm going to call it Only Up. Let's see, tests. Let's see, Only Up. Builder Basics. And I'm going to say, come try the Halloween parkour. And then let's see, free emote if you get to the top. And then here's the other part where I think this is a nightmare, especially if you're in United States. We've got daylight saving coming really soon, and so just everything gets crazy after daylight saving time. So I'm gonna make it. It really doesn't matter when. I'm just gonna do an hour parkour, and then people can just come and play. Let's see. Right now, I think it is later, so let's do it. Um, 11 p.m. UTC. It does not repeat. I'm just going to do one event. If you want to do it if I wanted it every week, I could do that. I could make this every single Wednesday at 11:55 p.m. UTC. And that's how you see events that are happening over and over and over again. Um, really cool, really cool feature that you can do that. A few tips of the trade. You can only do that for 10 weeks at a time. Um, so if you have a reoccurring event and you don't come in here and manually adjust it, it'll disappear. And then you have to start from scratch, which the nice thing about having a reoccurring event that people come to is they'll click the interested button and then it sends them a reminder. So if you let your event lapse, you lose that. So you also tend to get more people coming if it's a reoccurring event. But I don't want to repeat. I just want to do this as a fun little test. Category, let's see, competition. Play to earn POAP. Let's see. Oh my gosh, there's POAPs. Wow. I'm gonna do just gaming. It's hardly even a game, I would say. Select my communities. Let's do, I don't know. Let's do this one since it's right behind. And then location. you get to choose if you want it on your land or in world. And so both of those are good options. For this one, since I have land, I'm going to put it on land. But if you don't have land, you just need the DCL name and you can put it in there. And let me check my chords. What did I use for my chords? Those are -147.91. So let's see. There we go. Down here, the server, don't worry about that. That's back in the old days. -147.91. And then if you want to do your email and then additional info. And then hit submit. And then it should come down. You do have to get your event approved. And usually, so here it is. This event is pending approval. And so usually it's within like a few hours. I would say maybe if Foundation's really busy, it might take longer. Don't make an event like this the day before your event. Yes, I've done that. Yes, of course I've done that because I'm really disorganized. And so I think there's a 24-hour cutoff. It's like, because you get to choose your schedule down here. So I want to say that like 24 hours before, they're like, no, honey, you should have had your stuff together. And so this is just, once it's done, I'll go back in and like, if I need to tweak the time, I can. But yeah, that is an event. And then once you get that set up, this is the entire event page. You can see everything coming. This is actually like, this is a good way to cheat of like knowing what events are coming up, because if it's in UTC, I always miss events because it's in UTC, but if you're in this page, you can see, okay, it starts in 58 minutes, or this one starts in an hour. This one we all have to be at. That's for the hackathon. This one's in 5 hours. So that's really helpful. But in the top here, you'll see events, and now you should see pending events. And that is, if I click on it, where you'll see this. So I don't see my event show up yet, right? Because, oh, I do actually right here, but you can, I don't know if you could see it through here. It's kind of lighter. It's a little bit lighter. It's not as dark as the others because it's pending. So I can see this, but nobody else can. Once they approve it, they'll see it. And then in my events, yeah, okay. So my events, these are all the events that I'm following. And then down here, it's the events that I'm in charge of. So like this one right here, it's the CBD 3-year anniversary. It's in 229 days, but like I made that a repeating event every May 31st because I figure, yeah, I can tweak the day as I get closer, but it's kind of cool just to have that, like, I don't know, maybe a reminder of myself, like, oh yeah, we got to plan that. Okay, so that's the event. So you should have everything that you need right now to make an event. Let's see, let's go back over to this screen. So you have everything you need to make an event, host it in Decentraland. It can be like a Halloween parkour. You could, like, there's so many cool assets. You could make a pirate ship that's, oh my gosh, a pirate ship that's like dumping all of the contents from the sky. And you've got to like jump up all of that. There's like a cyberpunk. There's a steampunk, but as an actual steampunk aficionado, I'm like, the steampunk is okay, but let's, yeah, like I love steampunk. So let's see what else there. I could just go into the creator hub. I'm just looking at it, finishing up. I gotta like switch these screens every time I do. Sin would be so proud of me. All right, so like it would be really easy if anybody wanted to be like, parkour. Well, there's no day of the week that matches with parkour, but like or only up Wednesdays or only up Thursdays or hump day Wednesday. That's a great day, like halfway through the week, and you could be like, you're halfway up the parkour, and you could make 4 of these scenes really quick, and then you'd have every day, every week of the month, you just change it out. So there's a lot of potential, especially with something like this, for people to come and just start building and start making cool stuff. And then, especially if you built on more than one parcel of land, you could just, you could go nuts with it. Um, do test your parkour and make sure it's usable. Like, our buddy 13 once made parkour. I'm like, do you know for sure that this works? And he's like, I don't know. But it was pretty challenging. So there we go. I think it's gonna load up in just a second. Um, I am gonna give away emotes, nothing fancy, but just some of my old ones. If anybody does choose to use this, or if somebody wants to do this on their own and they don't have like the skills to Photoshop the message, let me know, and I can help with that, and maybe a class just on like the making these kind of pictures would be helpful too, just because like you use them for Twitter, you use them for Instagram. You need to have like a good graphic like this for your event page. And I have my little way that I've made it easier. The program that I use, I have like the Decentraland logo that I put in the background, and then I can just go in, duplicate this, swap out the background, change the text, and it's like 2 minutes. I've got a new picture. And so sometimes, like, especially being on social media, any kind of tip and trick that helps you like move faster, spend less time on that kind of stuff is super helpful too. So I think I need to restart Decentraland in order to go do this, actually do this parkour, and it should be loaded by now. So I guess now, like, any questions?
Well,
Oops, and
I
it's been.
have a event related tip.
Yeah.
I have this wonderful app website I found,
Yes.
worldtimebuddy.com. And then you cancel out the times that are there, put your own times in, so UTC, and then put your time or another time you want to put down, and it will it's free and easy, and it'll save. If you don't, if you have cookies on it, you can keep your settings if you want, or you can log in. I don't even log in. I don't make an account. I just use the thing,
Yeah.
the time converter.
That one is, I think, the best.
I love That's
I
the best
seriously
I've found.
need like a graph at my desk. I have a map of the world with like European times, and
Yeah,
and
but
that's
if you don't
helpful.
know
But
how to, but with the equation, it's hard to like.
yeah,
Sometimes it's hard to do in your head. You just go to a website.
yeah, and especially when you're creating the event, like, and like for festivals and stuff, and everybody's depending on you. It's like you can't mess that up. And then I know it's like chaos, like around daylight saving time. I remember Shelly Van used to always be so frustrated because all of the events you have to go change them because daylight saving time, it changes for the US, but not for the rest of the world. And we're still doing daylight saving time. I think we're gonna not do that anymore, but yeah, it's still an issue. Okay, so I'm gonna put in chat -14791 um is where the parcel should be, and it should be deployed. So like, I don't know about you guys, but if I hit reload, it's not going to show me the new parcel. So like, if you want to reload your scene, it's slash reload. Um, but that didn't do it. I actually have to do a hard reset, like totally shut Decentraland down and come back. All right, JK wants to do it after. Don't want to lose the stream. Yeah, I'll probably do it after also. Um, I guess now would be a good time, like anybody in world, if you did have any questions while we were going. Sorry I couldn't see them. And yeah, anybody in chat, you guys are very knowledgeable, so let me ask right here. But yeah, if anybody has questions, let me know.
Yeah, if someone wants to come hang out next week or another time and interact with Canessa, I think instead of just me and my perspective, if somebody else wants to come too.
Yeah, and it's good. I mean, I really appreciate you guys being
I'm
here.
here.
Yeah, Argent's here.
Well, I'm telling you, you learn more from your students than you do from a book.
Yes. And let's see. I don't see any questions in the world. And then like sometimes I don't know, sometimes for me questions come up later. Oh, I do see questions. Let's see. You also add buttons, levers at the top of parkours that unlock the next level. Okay, so DCL Chess says you can also add buttons, levers at the top of parkours that unlock the next levels. Yes, I want to keep these lessons super basic. Um, for those of us that are like, oh, I just need to learn, and then we'll get the technical stuff after that. Ooh, Jay has a question. Okay, I get distracted. um, so I want to wait until I don't want to get into the smart items until people, at least until people have had a few chances to actually just build. Like I'm imagining a lot of people have never touched 3D modeling. And so just like really getting the foundations, like I kind of want to like bore you to death where you're like, no, I need to move on. Rather than move on and then people are like overwhelmed. Like I'd rather move too slow than a little bit too fast. But yeah, like the levers, there's a lot you can do to unlock stuff. It would be awesome, actually. I don't know if those are multiplayer, but it'd be awesome to have a parkour and have it timed where then if you get up to the lever, you can like you have a trapdoor that you like, I'm not saying it well, but like you can open it for the people below you and then they fall. And so that would be pretty fun. But I don't know if those kind of
Well, you're
assets
creating
are
a video game
multiplayer.
there.
Yeah. And then Jay Kane says, how to make a teleporter to your world from a land parcel. Let's see. That is a good question.
It's like it should be a smart object. I see those all the time.
Yeah, and over here on right over here, there is a teleporter, but it goes to a different parcel in Decentraland. This is Natalie's. And so if you click on it, it would take you to her parcel. So let me get back onto the Creator Hub and see if we can just put one in really quick. So anything like that that's going to be interactive. Let's see. Nope, nope, nope. I didn't do the window. There we go. Anything that's interactive like that is going to be in the smart items. So if you click on it, actually the first thing that comes up is the teleport. There's other ways to do it, but this one is just quick and easy. So once you have the teleport into your scene, you can see it over here. And then on this side, on the right side, it brings up all of the options. And so normally what I've done is just go here to coordinates and I could be like, negative 150, 95 is the cantina. Okay, but your question is, can you get to a world? And that, I don't know. It doesn't look like it. So,
Well, there must be a way because I've
yeah,
seen.
so let's put that question. I'm gonna write that one down
It's like a
and
doctor.
put that for Dr. Krillo.
Yeah, it's a
Can you
doctor
teleport?
question, and he probably knows in 1 second what to do.
Yeah, because I think that that would be like you could also put a link, like a hyperlink, and say have a clear little, sign, just like I put this sign. You could have the link to your world and say, click on this link. I mean, it would be basically like a teleporter. I like the idea of a teleporter that you can just walk through. Hyperfy did it the best, where it's like a door that, like on Sinful's land that helped make a bunch of us built on his land there. But like, I made a doorway that you would walk through it and just walk into his Decentraland land. So I think that that's a really good way to do it. I don't know if there's another way to do it without a link to click. So I will ask, and that'll be something that we'll figure out in like talk about next week. Maybe start off with that one because that's a good place to start. Um, okay, look, I'm hiding over here in the corner. Yes, and DCL Chess says their foundation has good video tutorials. They do. And then also Dr. Krillo does the office hours. And so that's on Thursday. So my idea with this is like we come in, we learn a little bit on Tuesday. Tomorrow is your free day, Wednesday. And then Thursday you can come to Dr. Krillo's, and then he's, obviously he's paid like that foundation to do this job. So he's the guy. Hopefully I'm just the springboard person to get you started. And then DCL Chess says, I have a question. Can you create a teleport in world to different coordinates? Yes, that's what I did right over here. So Natalie is the one that did that cute art right here. And then if you click on this, it just says, welcome to Greece. And then I jump in and it takes you right to her parcel. So, we could have like a mall. We could have a shopping mall of different places and then have it take you right there. In the past, she had an asset that then you'd click to go back to the cantina. I don't see it, so it might... Oh, no, it might be here. Let's see. It was like a post. So I think it was right here. Okay, so she might not have a return. It might be a one-way ticket. But yeah, that works really good. Let's see. Hopefully I didn't lose everybody doing that. So I think it'd be fun to like have that, have like Meta Tribe Plaza. You could click something and go to it. You could, like the usual places. It'd be kind of cool just to connect them all. Within the same world, not switching to another world or parcel. We'll ask about that, Chess. Alrighty. Well, I think that's it for questions.
That's it. It is. I want to say one more thing what happened to me, and I want to tell Lastrom, I don't know if he's here, to tell people this. For like a creative person, just opening the asset packs and looking at the objects will give you ideas for what to do with them. When you see, just run the program. It's free, it's light, it runs easy. And you look at the asset packs, that should give you ideas of things to make just from looking at all the stuff that's there already. I mean,
Yeah.
that happened to me. So I don't know if it happens like that to everybody, but it's just do it. Just check it out, man. You won't be disappointed. In yourself. You'll do something cool. I promise.
Yeah, I think there's a lot that you can work with, and we talked last week about like resizing the assets and then they become something different. I think that's actually the fun part. Like I once made Sinful a penguin made of like a vase, like a street sign, a pair of, well, no, I made his shoes out of like a light post. He had a cigarette, which was also a light post. Like it's fun just looking through the assets and being like, all right, what would work for that? Or like the build that I said, it's a beautiful snowy lodge, but really it's like 100 skulls, that you're walking on. Like I kind of liked that one. All right, DCL Chess says a teleporter to move across a parcel or world, not loading a new area. Yeah, there's definitely those in the asset or in the creator hub. And let me switch over there. I'm probably not going to go in depth with them here just because I do want to keep the sessions kind of short. But everything that's like fancy is going to be in the smart items. And then you're going to look for, let's see, doors, platforms. So, sorry, as soon as I scroll in, it covers it up. So platforms I like that there's a little description now. A black horizontal platform that looks like a flying car. Players can stand on it and move back and forth. So you could use these platforms and tell them how far to move. So if you really want to get into your parkour and like, okay, now we're gonna get serious, you could make these and have them move left or right, up and down. I am still traumatized by elevators from 2021 and 2022. And that's why every single build I make, I have an alternate way to get up there because elevators were so broken. I used to have one, and everybody had to go to a different realm to use the elevator by themselves and then get to the top and then switch back to the realm we were in. So maybe that's why I'm like, no, 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 I'm not doing that. I'm going to go do that in Blender and animate it in Blender and parent a collider to it because it's better than this. So that's my own trauma I'm working through, guys. But yeah, it's in here. It's definitely, there's more. I guess just there's more in here than I'm covering, and we'll get there. But I think like I want people, I want people to have success with the simple stuff, and then we get crazy. And then it's kind of fun to actually like stumble on that stuff on your own and be like, whoa, like I found this cool thing in here. Vanessa didn't even say anything about it, and like, yeah, and like you said, you can come and teach me. So yeah, you can make the platform super fast. Okay, I think. Yeah, DCL chess. How can I teleport around for fast travel? Um,
Open
yeah,
and
I
down.
think I think that try those. Like I could do it with colliders in Blender, but then there is a certain speed at which like the avatar, um, the software I think isn't rendering the collider as fast as it's rendering the avatar, and so being on a moving collider it sometimes doesn't work and you fall off because it's too fast. Yeah, so you might have to experiment with that. I can't wait to talk about like animation colliders, all the things you can do once we get into Blender. But yeah, it'll be a little while yet. What were you gonna say, Fiddy?
Oh, well, nothing. Sorry. Did I say something?
Yeah.
I'm
So
good.
and I'm trying to think DCLChess. If you are able to put a collider, if you've got a 400 piece parcel and you want to get from lower left corner to upper right corner, I think you could actually put one of these teleporters and you just have like click to those, instantly go to those parcels. But I don't think it's going to be like oh, I don't know, like I'm trying to think of a game that it could be sort of like, probably in the SD, in the code, you could do it. But I think just for this, let's see, ooh, Fredarmy. Just for this, I don't know that it's possible yet. Fredarmy says, "How many triangles does your scene contain?" Ah, here's the cool thing. They are letting us. This is funny. Okay, let me get on here before I start talking, because otherwise I start like I can't talk and do this at the same time. So on my scene, my okay, here's the fun part. This scene contains 55,767 triangles on a one-piece parcel. The limit is 10,000. And you can see that's not a lot of stuff. And it's setting off both of these alarms down here. I'm like hearing the whoop whoop. Your scene contains too many triangles. Your scene contains too many textures. I have like blump like I'm like 4 times more than I should be. And that's kind of ridiculous. Um, but Decentraland has relaxed their, um, like, they will let you publish it anyway. In the past, you couldn't. If you were at 10,001 triangles, you could not publish it. It would just, nope, like that button would not press. Same thing with textures. And in my mind, like that is honestly just in crazy to think about making that I couldn't make this experience on a one piece parcel if they held fast to that. I think that this is a recent move. I want to say it's like 2 months old. Um, you can publish through the SDK code and bypass this if you have coding skills. I do not have coding skills, and that's what forced me to go to Blender, because in Blender I can be in more in control of the triangles, and I can build cooler stuff and not hit the triangle limitation. So I said it last week. Triangles is a very it's a trigger word for me because can you imagine if I had to cut down 45,000 triangles? I'd have like 10 pumpkins on this. And so I think this is a performance issue. Like I hope it doesn't come back to bite us that there's just too many triangles in all of Decentraland. And like the idea is that maybe this would slow performance, like because it's way over the limit. But there's no way we're gonna get good quality content if we stick to these hard fast rules. Because even the textures, I mean, and like I didn't put any of my own stuff in here. These are all assets that the builder like Decentraland Foundation provided, and they're probably not really optimized. Like they're probably high triangles. Some of the stuff from these earlier the first packs that were introduced was Genesis City, and that was back in 2019. Year of the Pig was also here. There were some others that they removed, but those are the two original ones. And then Pirates was added, I think, in like summer of 2019. And then Western, Halloween, Steampunk, Fantasy, Sci-Fi, Cyberpunk were all added after that. So if you go into some of these earlier asset packs, especially like I used to have an Excel spreadsheet because I'm an absolute geek. I used to know exactly how many triangles each one of these rocks has. And there's one, like this one, I think, is way higher than all of these. Because I was building a ginormous scene and I was trying to get it within the triangle limitations. So I think that this, like them relaxing these, like restrictions is the best, like literally the single best thing that has happened to Decentraland. I'm
Yeah,
not even like,
I think it's underbuilt right now. If there was like thousands more people building, I think it'd be a problem. But it's the world's kind of underbuilt, so I think you can get away with it for a while.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I noticed asset packs. I just assume they're all made by different people at different times. If you stay in one asset pack, you're going to have less. You're going to run into the texture wall less. That's what happened to me. So, um, and then obviously things kind of the western and the pirate kind of cross over. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
so. You can grab from both and Halloween, but you're not. That's a theme. They're kind of themed together. Like you're not going to put sci-fi with pirates. So like you can. It's easy to stay in one or two texture packs. I mean
Yeah. And
asset
they do kind
asset
of,
packs.
there's some really cool, I think there's some really cool little gems in there. Like there's really nice
Yeah,
ones.
I'm
But
telling
I
you,
think like,
just
yeah.
looking at all of them, you're gonna give you ideas. Like I'm telling you guys,
Yeah.
there's lots in there. Yeah, but I think it's kind of underbuilt. Anyway,
Yeah, I
but
think so. Mohedi has a good answer to the question. Only the folder size is the limitation now, and I believe it's 50 megabytes. And I have hit that in the Mardi Gras build because I had so many images and I did not know how to optimize them. And Ruston's like, "Oh my gosh, girl, like it's too much." Um, it will force you to like do. I thought I was gonna have to cut the scene in half and just deploy it in two scenes. But yeah, like, and honestly, right now, I can't imagine if Foundation goes backwards from here. If they're suddenly like, no, we're going to uphold this limitation, everything is gonna break. So I feel like I'm like, dang, I hope this is okay. I hope we don't have to go backwards because if I'm putting scenes out here that have 55,000 triangles on one parcel of land, and then you do, and Fred does, and JK, and we all do, like, that's going to be really hard if they try to go backwards from that. And also, like, I like the way I build is specifically to like limit triangles. Like I'll do things like on this build at Cantina, you can't really see it, but like this rock, the collider doesn't match that rock. The collider is a cube because instead of having, I don't know, maybe 500 triangle, or maybe more like 200 triangles to match the rock, I could have like six. And that's why I can, when I'm walking right here, you can see I'm coming out to the edge of the cube. And then I can go right through this wall and see the inside of the cube because I didn't match it perfectly. I think most of the other um, colliders on this property I did, but that was just one way that I saved triangles because that lighthouse up there is an insane amount of triangles. Um, yeah, like I'm so traumatized. So like I created this build in Blender. I kept it under 150,000 triangles is what you needed for a 15-piece parcel. So I was like 140,000, and then I upload it into the builder, and then the Decentraland builder, or the Creator Hub, sees colliders as triangles. So suddenly I was like double, and it was devastating. I think it was the day before a party, before like an event, and I'm like, "What are you talking about? There's twice as many colliders or twice as many triangles because Blender told me I was fine." And then I realized, oh yeah, like it's viewing these colliders. Colliders have their own triangles. All right, DCL Chess has a question about setting up background music to play automatically without streaming, like embed the music songs. There are solutions to that, and that is next on my list to figure out. I know a few people that have found ways to do it. But it's
Well, there's a
still
place.
streaming. It's
There's a
still
place to put one song in the gallery template. I put a music on and it loops one MP3 from my computer.
yeah. So I think
You'll
if
people
you
have that. You'll see on your scenes. You'll walk into one and it has a background of just ambient music.
yeah,
Yeah, there's you can do
I,
that.
I think so that is something I need to highly figure out and
Ooh,
I
I should try to
uh
put a 2 hour DJ mix on and see if it actually
you
get
should, and I
loops
know
the
there's
2 hours.
solutions. I just don't want to say like how the person did it because then
Yeah, that's
like
advanced. We're getting way
yeah, well,
advanced
and
now.
because like he's still working it out, and he's still
Okay.
like troubleshooting it, and it does have some
Great.
issues. I think
Yeah.
Vimeo, like people using Vimeo and going through a server is probably consistent. Yeah, like I think so. Like in the past, Decentraland has gotten into different problems with like playing copyrighted music too, and so I think that's up to the user to figure out how how they're gonna approach that. I know a lot of people have paid for subscription services for the copyright free music. Um,
You can
yeah,
Well,
use, if you are a DJ and you are in Twitch, you can use the Twitch program for DJs.
the Monster Cat, is it still?
J King has a question. Will a 1x2 parcel allow for higher building than a 1x1? Yes. And I will put the chart in chat. Let me just find it. Um, there is a very specific chart and it's so old. This is from 2019, but it's not as linear and like exponential as you would expect it to be, or at least not for me. There's like a curve, so it actually you get the greatest um, height advantage when you go from one or like two parcels to three parcels, and then four parcels to six parcels. It's kind of weird. They must have had some weird algorithm that helped them figure this. Because it doesn't necessarily make sense to me. I'm going to post it in general chat. And I know there's newer ones out there, but this one is the one, I don't know, the one that I go by. Um, so yeah, it's really interesting. It definitely makes you want a bigger state. Yeah, the more land you have, the more you can go in height. Okay, J King says, I see some lands on OpenSea with just numbers. Are those dead lands, banned, or something? So, like, land is just an NFT. But it's different than most NFTs. Like, most Like my pudgy penguin, it never changes. It's always a red pudgy penguin. If you think about Decentraland land and you have one parcel of land, that's an NFT. But then if I want to join my parcel with the one right next to it, both of those NFTs change into an estate. And I guess the way to think about it is like an orange. They leave behind the peel. And the listings that you see on OpenSea, that's like the peeling left behind. And what happened, because they can't just destroy them, they can't just get burnt. They're an NFT on the blockchain. What used to happen is people would get those and then they would sell it as if it was an actual NFT, but it's an old dead NFT. So Decentraland Foundation, or however it was done on OpenSea, now it does say this, do not buy. This is a dissolved estate. So like every time I change land, like if I have two parcels together, they're individual, and I put them together to make an estate, a two parcel estate, that changes those NFTs. And then if I have a big estate and I want to like dissolve it and take all those pieces apart, that changes all those NFTs. So I think that's probably what you're seeing on OpenSea. If you are looking for land on OpenSea, the safest way to buy Decentraland land is through the Decentraland marketplace. I've bought land on OpenSea many years ago. Actually, it was everybody in the Stars district over kind of by the Dollhouse and Seed. It was a very active location. Everybody wanted to be there. And all of a sudden, all this land came up for sale for cheap. So we were just buying it like, crazy. And I didn't look at the listing very carefully. And I should have, because it was flagged with a red check mark on OpenSea. But now I'm like, why was I able to buy it? Maybe it was right afterwards. It was pretty much pretty quickly after we all bought it. We realized that the land had come from a compromised wallet, and it did have a little check mark that said, I can't remember what it said. So if you're looking at land to buy, if you ever need to like get a second opinion on it, like reach out to somebody, be like, hey, I'm thinking of buying this piece. Does it look legit to you? Because I remember somebody did that right after, and I'm like, yeah, it looks fine to me. But I didn't, it was 3 years ago. I did not even realize what I should be looking for. I've also had one parcel of land flagged after I bought it. Like I had owned it for a year, and suddenly it has that check mark on it. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, I don't, I don't know who, maybe the person that I bought it from made a claim with OpenSea and said that their, wallet had been compromised. So yeah, there are things to look at on the DCL marketplace, the Decentraland marketplace. I just feel like that's a lot safer. I guess I don't want to say it's safer because maybe it's not, but it just feels like it's just black and white. You either buy it or not. All right. Let's see. DCL Chess says, can you select copy paste stuff between builds? I don't think so. Like the way, and I could be,
Why don't
I could
you
be wrong.
try it? Did you try it? Like, just try it. Really small, very simple. Two simple scenes. Copy one thing from the other. Did it work? Yes or no? If yes,
No, I think I'm trying to think
you could just
like
try it.
the way. Well, I did right now, and it doesn't work.
No, him. I meant him.
Yeah,
Sorry. What
what
I would
they
tell my
used to
kids.
have, and I don't know if I just don't know how to find it, but it used to, right up here where it says code, they used to have a little download option. So you could download your scene, and then you could just take that, bring it into a new one, and then, real quickly like cut out the pieces you want. I know in Blender you can copy and paste your assets if you want to, just take it from one to the next. If there is
Oh,
the
duh. I
ability,
know what to do. I know what to do.
yeah,
Select all your pieces.
okay.
Make a custom object. You drag the custom object right in. It's identical.
Publishing sale.
But you can only move it as one unit. You can't resize your custom object. It's not really a custom object. It's just a group.
Yeah.
Um, and I had a 2-story, so it went halfway into the ground. So a 1-story custom object will drop right on the floor, but a 2-story custom object that you make will cut it. It picks a center point as the sum of all the pieces, so it drops it halfway in the land. So just so you know, you'll see that when you drag it in. You go, oh, what happened to my 2-story building? It's halfway in the ground. You just drag it up. But yeah, I forgot I was making custom objects.
Yeah, thank you, Fiddy.
Oops, so
Appreciate
forgot my
your
best tip.
let's see. Yeah, wouldn't you need to open two builders or something? Um, here's what I would do is duplicate the scene. Go back
Not my
to
way.
the scene. Um, let's get back over here. Uh, that is kind of like probably the easiest way to do it. And that's how I've done it before is so back in my scenes, if you just do duplicate, now I've got two exactly the same in just a second. And then you can go and like chop stuff out of one. Actually, this would be a really good way to like duplicate parkour. Um, you could like if you wanted to do a pirate theme instead of this, you could just go through and set like the pirate stuff right next to the pumpkin. You could take like, a pirate like an anchor, set it right next to the pumpkin, then delete the pumpkin. And I don't know if that would be any quicker. It's taking a second to duplicate it. There we
That's
go.
until they have replace item like a video editor lets you replace a clip, in a video
Yeah,
editor. Until they
yeah,
have that, that is the fastest way, Canessa,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. That's what I would do. There's always like a low tech way of doing something that you're like, okay, I don't know. Um, okay, I think that's it for questions, and it's been 2 hours, and I think that I'm gonna check the meeting, the events page because I believe okay, we still have an hour for the prepare the vibe workshop. So I'm just gonna shout out the hackathon. It is beginning, and so if anybody wants to do that, the session in 1 hour is probably it's that's where to start. Like I think that's what we need to know to get to the next step. Also, like make sure that you start your account and then everything else bug toxic. That's all I can help with is start your account, come to the session, bug toxic. Um, but yeah, thank you everybody for being here. I think we have got good questions to start next week, and I think that's probably like a good safe way to do it is just like get as far as we can, and then yeah, answer those questions, and every week I would love to have something that is kind of like an open and closed project. Like we start it, but we finish it the same day. This one went definitely over an hour, but yeah, hopefully it was helpful. And I'm gonna check. I did see that I got an error message publishing that scene, so maybe it's gonna work, or maybe not. Like maybe they're like 55,000 triangles. Get out, get out, get out, get out. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's it. I'm gonna let everybody go. Get some water. Thank you so much for being